Alright, so this is going to be the first video I post on this channel, and we're going to talk about my recent experience in dropping out of college. So, what makes my situation interesting enough to talk about in the YouTube video is that I was a senior in college, 2 days into my senior year, and I also had good grades. College wasn't a particular I got the results, my grades were probably above average. So several reasons I still dropped out. First is because I hated it. Doing schoolwork, I don't enjoy it. And I know a lot of people don't enjoy schoolwork, but I really don't enjoy schoolwork. And the reason I couldn't put up with not enjoying it is because I no longer believe that college was a sacrifice that betters your future. No, I know a lot of people think college is very important and a great opportunity, and that it prepares you to have a good, stable career in the future and you'll be able to earn more money. I don't believe any of that is true, and if you disagree with me, I just don't agree with you. I think that used to be true, but the way the world works now, the way money works, I think college is just completely aside from the point of money. There's so many ways to make money, and wages and salary are actually the worst way to make money because they're taxed the most. In college, all it does is teach you how to make a good wage or a good salary for the most part. If you go to college, you're more than likely going to work for someone else for a salary, and that's the highest. That's income tax is higher than capital gains tax or other types of tax. And that's all for a purpose. It's basically to get you to have as least money as possible. So realizing this made me realize it was absolutely pointless for me to get a degree, because it's not going to make me more money in my future. And that was really the only reason I had stuck with it, was because I thought, oh, well, I'll be able to make a better living with this degree. I finally accepted that that just wasn't true, and there's better ways to make money. But that's kind of aside from the point. So I also started seeing college as a control mechanism. And what I mean by that is, college takes up a lot of your time and energy, and those are your two most valuable resources. So the more time you spend working on stuff for college, the less time you can spend pursuing literally anything else in the world that might actually yield a better result. So when you live in a structure where you have to do certain things by a certain time and be certain places at a certain time, unless you love what you're doing during those times, which I guarantee the vast majority of people absolutely do not, you're just wasting your time. But people are afraid to step out of the structure because the structure is safe. It's kind of a comfort zone, and it's lower risk. So if you're more averse to risk, staying in college than going and getting a job for a salary is the way to go. I'm not a very risk-averse person. I can handle uncertainty. I really don't need much certainty in my life because I have this thing called faith. And that's really all it takes. You just have to trust yourself, basically, to provide for yourself what you need. And if you can just do that, you realize you don't need any form of external validation, which I see a degree as kind of a form of external validation that a lot of people need to validate themselves so they can move on to the next level, which is just a job, which is actually just the same thing as college. So when you're in college, you want the degree, so you'll do what your superiors say to get the degree. When you have a job for a salary, you want the salary, so you'll do what your superiors say in order to gain the salary. It's the same grids. It's the same you have to answer to someone else. And a lot of people can live in that structure and be happy and fine. For me, I just found it suffocated me all the way to my core. And it took me 3 years to realize it, but it was just sucking my soul out. So it really, at the end of the day, wasn't even much of a choice to drop out of college, but it was just a very hard decision that I knew I had to make in order to get off a path that was not going to make me happy. And the counter argument to what I did by everyone around me was that, oh, you can just get the degree, and then after that you don't have to go apply for a job, and at least you'll have the degree in your back pocket. But if I did that, that would mean I have cognitive dissonance, and that I don't really believe in what I say, because I don't believe the degree is needed. So if I went and got the degree not believing it was useful, I clearly don't believe what I'm saying. So it was a decision I had to make in order to not have cognitive dissonance, because being in college gave me a good amount of cognitive dissonance, and I had to do all sorts of mental gymnastics just to be okay with myself. So I got rid of all of that, and dropping out helped me alleviate cognitive dissonance, like, entirely. And I'm now completely on board with myself and what I'm doing. And yeah, that's basically why I dropped out of college 2 days into my senior year.